going through my videos, and I noticed that there was this awesome video that I took in 2014, almost 10 years to the date, and it's me entering Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, where very few, less than the 1% of 1% of 1% bikers have ever rolled in on a Harley-Davidson. The road was pretty ugly, it was very wet, it was extremely cold, at least 30, 31 degrees when I got there. But for those of you who wanted to make the trek up the Dalton Highway, or what they call the slope, that's what the locals call it, the slope. Go up the slope, past Cold Foot, definitely gonna need some extra gas cans, because if you got a Harley 6.2, definitely gonna need more than that. So either you come with an auxiliary gas tank, or you get one of those red tanks and you strap 5 extra gallons on there, because you are definitely gonna need it. Very important. If the trucks are coming up behind you, they will not respect you. You respect them. Pull over to the side or you will get run over. No mercy. It's all about honor on the road up there. That's their road. And when you're on their road, you're intruding. So keep your pride to the side and pull to the side so the truck can pass you by, and then you pick up on your adventure and keep going. The Alpine Mountains is a beautiful place to be, but once you get up in that upper elevation, it gets chilly willy. So let's see what it's like in 2014 when Gabe makes his first trip up into Prudhoe Bay, which is the oil part of town, Dead Horse, the civilian part of town. Let's go.
I remember first time I went up to Prudhoe Bay, I started in Key West. I did the Hoka Hay motorcycle challenge, and then from there it was all back roads all the way to Homer Spit. Then I had to go east through Anchorage, over some mountains into Fairbanks where I started. And I went up, and you know, whenever you do a run for the first time and you travel a road for the first time, the unknown is so exciting. It's like an aphrodisiac. It's beyond sexual. It is the ultimate experience because you don't know what's around the corner, and when you're taking it, you may have read every article, seen every YouTube video, but until you throw your leg over that saddle, turn over that engine, and pull back on the throttle, you're not going to feel the excitement that I was feeling that day, that you will feel when you start up the Dalton Highway, what the locals call the slope. I remember that the winds in 2014 were horrendous. It was crazy. I was riding sideways. I was sort of wondering, is the bike going to flip over? These winds are pretty hard. And I pulled over a few times, and I was like, wow, is my bike even going to turn back on, you know? But it was about 31 degrees, and when you're doing about 40 miles an hour, you know, it goes down into the 20s. And I had my heated gear. You know, and I was layered up with climb gear, which is the Gore-Tex material that's supposed to be waterproof and wind resistant, but the cold went right through it. And of course it comforts you a little bit, but it's not like 100% going up toasty because of the low temperatures. But you definitely need heated gear. You could go up in leathers. I prefer the lighter because after a while the bike gets heavy and you just want to be able to maneuver around without all that heavy leather. Climb makes great Gore-Tex lightweight material, and that is the top of the line, at least in my opinion it is. But pulling into Prudhoe Bay after it was raining like crazy, I was dropping my bike in the mud. But when we got past the LT, and it just got really cold and windy, but the ground was hard. Even though it was a little bit moist, rocky, it was cloudy, so we were getting in there pretty late. So at least the sun wasn't burning our eyes as we were going through because of the clouds. But it was tundra. There was nothing to see. It was like the desert. And I saw these little rat-looking things. I'm like, how do they survive here when it goes to like 80 below zero? You know, but they're there. That's their habitat, their environment. But I remember coming in, and I would see water. I'm like, wow, is that the Arctic Ocean? No, later on I would find out it was a lake. then you see these buildings popping up from afar, and you're like, whoa, I'm almost there, and the excitement, it's just an overwhelming feeling of accomplishment, because you realize that 1% of 1% of 1% of 1% of those that ride make it to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, to Dead Horse, up to the top of the world, the most northern road that ends on the Arctic Ocean. And you realize, of those people that make it up there, how many actually make it on a Harley? Yes, I made it up there. There's a lot of other guys that have made it up there, but just knowing that I made it on a bike that is not common for folks to take on these type of roads, it's more easier on an adventure bike. But I was going to do it on a Harley-Davidson. That was my thing. And when I got to the top, my buddy told me, now you got to do Tierra de Fuego to Prudhoe Bay. Man, that just entered my head like a bug that just kept eating away, and until I did it. And I did it. And I did it twice, which was awesome. But entering Prudhoe Bay, I felt like I was going to explode. I had so much joy, so much excitement in me. It was great. And then you can see this stop sign. You pull in, like, wow, do I take a left or right? I don't know where I'm going. I've never been here before. And I'm like, is this the Arctic Ocean? No, it's a lake. Basically, Dead Horse is the civilian part of town. And if you want to go to Prudhoe Bay to go to the Arctic Ocean, you have to put your name on a list. 24-hour wait period. I guess they do FBI check, make sure you're not a terrorist, because that's where they suck the oil out of the ocean and shoot it down the Alaskan pipeline. And all these workers are up there, these oil workers, they're just working at oil, the crude, getting it down to the lower 48 states. But what a joy. And the people were super nice, because they knew I wasn't from up there. And they were all very helpful. And a lot of them were really, really talkative. But like I said earlier, going up there the first time, second time, third time, it gets a little bit older. You've done it. But still, when you make it to the top, it's that endorphins released by your brain. You're just basking in success because you made the challenge. So 2024 Hoka Hey Motorcycle Challenge. I'm heading to Prudhoe Bay, snow or not. It's going to be my 4th time making it up there. I hope you make it up there. God bless.